Paddleboarding, a very relaxing sport. Until it's not.
Breaking news as California is effectively under lockdown tonight as the surge of coronavirus cases exploding across the U.S. is now slamming head-on into the country's largest state. Tonight, Governor Gavin Newsom says he's stopping indoor dining in restaurants and closing all bars, wineries, and movie theaters statewide. After a weekend that saw the state's beaches overflowing, the governor is also closing gyms, churches, and non-essential offices in the state's 30 hardest-hit counties, essentially shutting down California for 80% of people living there.
A long time ago, after retiring from his galactic conquest far, far away, Akin Walker spends his retirement life doing outdoor activities on planet Earth. Today, he woke up this morning and decided to explore the world through paddling. For someone who just woke up, that sounds like he's still dreaming. Well, big dreams started from somewhere. However, a global pandemic requires everyone to wear facial protection. Apparently, as a former galactic conqueror, he's been wearing masks for years. Unless he used his power of the Force to just hover on the water, to paddle efficiently and practically, he has to let go of his heavy helmet and bulky armor. Just wearing a portable breather mask. Coupled with a much lighter suit. He's ready to go paddling for the first time. And besides, he needs to keep a low profile if he wants to blend in with humans. You don't see someone wearing a full battle armor and a helmet paddling on the water. On his previous conquest by the name Vader, he is accustomed to command thousands of troops. So paddling alone by himself is not something he's gotten used to. That's why employing a human to document this outdoor endeavor is a must.
Hey, Seth.
You're here.
Yep, I'm
Your
here.
presence here is a surprise, young Padawan.
What? Of course I was going to make it down here. I'm always up for an adventure.
Whatever. What is your opinion about this plan?
That's so beautiful out here. Look at the river.
Agreed.
So, does this thing actually carry your weight?
Yes. 400 pounds.
Wow, really? Okay, I believe you.
I will finish fueling the ship while you take a footage of the surroundings.
Haha, alright, Lord Vader. So Sept and I met at a volunteering event, and I've always known him as sort of the geeky type. He's always mentioning all these pop culture references, so I was quite surprised when he mentioned the paddleboarding, because to me he's kind of an introvert, so to do like outdoor activities is kind of out of his comfort zone, or at least in my opinion. So I know that he's the type of person that when he sets his mind onto something, he's just gonna go for it. And so he bought a paddleboard online, and he wanted to go on this adventure by the LA River, because originally we were supposed to go to Marina del Rey or somewhere with more calm and mellow waters, but due to COVID we decided to go somewhere where it's more, there's less people and it's more open.
The usual paddling in LA River starts from Atwater Village to Frogtown. But such route is too short for an adventurer like Seth Walker. So he decided to take it farther north, starting from the back of the Hollywood sign at the Hollywood Studio Lots and ends in Glendale Junction. That's around 10 miles of paddling, and as a first-timer, is he biting more than he can chew? That remains to be seen. One thing is for sure, he's in for a rude awakening.
As a first timer, I think it's normal to fall a few times, you know, or actually like a dozen times.
Surprisingly, maintaining balance on the inflatable board is a challenge for Seth Walker. At one point, he lost his cool.
No!
So he finally decided to use his power of the Force. So much for keeping a low profile.
So, I think it went pretty well.
I seen Sep walking down his paddleboard, and I knew basically he was gonna get into the water. But once I seen him paddleboarding, I've never seen that. It was strange to us. They don't see people paddleboarding, but to utilize the river that way, you know, people are getting used to it. I seen him on the paddleboard and I said, man, he's enjoying this. That's what you want to see. Right. You know, you want to see people cruising the water, just enjoying it. It adds to the beauty of the river. I'm connected to the river because I used to swim in the river as a young man. I have lived here all my life. As you can see, we have multiple species of fish, birds. It's a paradise and a haven for birds and fishes. And I'm gonna tell you, we love the river.
Visiting the LA River was very intriguing. I think it has that grungy feel initially, but then there's also this very beautiful part that is just like, there's like this trashy part, and then there's this beautiful nature-esque part, which is a little bit contradicting. There are lots of beautiful birds, like white birds, ducks, starks, and I personally didn't see any fish, but Sep saw fish, so I don't know if he's lying to me or if there is fish, but I'm sure there has to be fish, right? Because what else would the birds eat? I thought the LA River was dried up, and I thought it was actually just like sewage water. So to see trees and birds and like life and like an actual river, it was very shocking to me. It was like such a pleasant surprise. I loved it. The most heartbreaking part is the trash. It's just such a beautiful place and so much greenery everywhere, and then you see these really random things that you can't really pick up like with your hand. It's kind of stuck there. It really breaks my heart to see that. There's quite a bit of trash in the river too. Upon seeing all the trash in the LA River, like grocery carts in the water and just really random things, it makes me want to come back with a large trash bag with a group of friends and just pick up all the trash. That's actually what I do sometimes when I go hiking, because it's not just like, this is not a problem just in the LA River. This is a problem in society, in the world, not just LA, like everywhere. You know, there's trash everywhere. Now there are masks everywhere and gloves everywhere. I'm not sure if the problem lies in there being a lack of like garbage cans or trash cans, or just the fact that people are not very mindful of where they're putting their trash. And it not only makes the environment very ugly, it's also bad for the environment, and it's just bad to have plastic everywhere for the animals. it's a very sad thing. I think we should be more mindful and try to preserve our environment as much as we can, because the earth does not need us, but we need the earth.
Now, we had an entity, Friends of the LA River. So me and a couple of other friends have come up with, devised this a cleanup of the river, adopt the river. And as we can, we're trying to get as much people as we can behind us to help us out and even sponsor to help pick up this trash. As you can see, it's beautiful right here. See, and people sometimes just don't respect the river. I have a friend that comes down here almost every other day, and he takes trash bags and he walks into the river and he picks up trash, at least 10 trash bags, because the beautification of the river. We want to clean it up, we want to make it beautiful. I said, man, come on, that's something that we love to see here. You know, we love to see people using the river now. You know, there's even fishing. Yeah, carp, almost a foot long. And you know, and this is what we want to do. Before I go, I want to make sure that this river is there for my children as well as my grandchildren, and everybody else feels the same. This is the pride of the neighborhood.
After 9 miles of paddling and falling on the board, it finally comes down to this. The final lap of this paddle adventure. As Akinship Walker paddled his way on the last remaining mile of this route.
Along the LA River, there are types of routes that you can take. There's so much variety. Like, there are some parts with really tall grass, there are some narrow ones, some shallow parts, but some really rocky ones. Yeah, it's got like level 2 rapids, and then really big trees, and then some really smooth ones. And there are actually some deeper parts, like deeper than 6 feet. That actually surprised me.
Evidently, paddling in this river has a few surprises for him today. He adopted different ways to paddle as he finds his way to different obstacles. The objective today is to relax as he paddles on the mellow water. Then a shallow part of the river made him realize this is not gonna be a relaxing day. He tried his best to keep standing on the board as he navigated through rocky shallows. But alas, his best is not enough. On some routes, he ended up with boulders at the end blocking the way. His only option? Walking down on the other side of the stream to continue. Perhaps the most tricky part is when he gets stuck in between the tall grasses. Seemingly lost and no place to go. Then he discovered hidden paths in between those floras. This might not be a relaxing day for Sep Walker. But definitely a fun and thrilling ride. Especially when he encountered rapids along the way. Surprisingly, the LA River has fantastic level rapids in every mile. Sometimes an exhilarating experience is needed to get a much deserving reward. Not bad for a first-timer. And a great start for paddling world adventures.
I am a lover of movement and to take in the world with all of my senses. Paddleboarding, I have not tried it before. I tried it today and it was quite an adventure, I would say. I think it's pretty normal to fall a few times, or a couple dozen times is normal, I guess. I don't think I saw turtles. Okay.
Red roses too, I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I see skies of blue, oh, and clouds of white, the bright blessed day.
Hello everyone. Thank you for watching the first episode. Is this really necessary?
It's your movie, so yeah.
Please follow me on my future paddle adventures. This is so out of character.
Okay, let's try another one.
Join me as I paddle around the world.
That's more like it.
Watch part 2 of this episode, or I'll get angry. You don't want to see me when I get angry.
That's a line from Incredible Hulk, not Star Wars.
One more thing. Watch all the way to the ending credit scene. Don't fail me again, young Padawan.
Okay, that's a wrap.
You, I know you. What is it that you want?